Number 1. The 1967 Ford Galaxie 500, listed for $5,500 and located in Stonewall, Oklahoma. The Ford Galaxie 500 was Ford's flagship full-size car during the muscle car era, offering big body presence, smooth ride quality, and plenty of room inside. This particular example is powered by a 289 cubic inch V8, paired with an automatic transmission, making it a comfortable and easy cruiser that still delivers that classic V8 sound and feel. The odometer shows 99,999 miles, and the seller states that the car runs, drives, and stops, which are the three most important words when shopping for an affordable classic. According to the listing, this Galaxie starts right up and drives up and down the road nicely, making it a true driver rather than a stalled project. Several key mechanical items have already been addressed. The car has a new fuel tank, new sending unit, a new carburetor, and new tires. These are all major maintenance items that often come up on older vehicles, and having them already replaced adds real value and peace of mind for the next owner. From a usability standpoint, the Galaxie 500 shines as a classic you can actually enjoy. The long wheelbase and full-size suspension deliver a smooth, relaxed ride that's perfect for cruising, road trips, or local car shows. It's also a great platform for someone who wants to keep it stock, lightly restore it, or even build a period-correct cruiser. The car comes with a clean and clear Oklahoma title, and the seller is clear on the terms: no trades. While the opening line mentions $5,000, the stated asking price is $5,500, so buyers should be aware of that when reaching out. At this price point, it's getting harder to find full-size 1960s classics that are running, driving, and already refreshed mechanically. For $5,500, this 1967 Ford Galaxie 500 offers strong value, classic style, and real road-ready usability. Number 2. The 1991 Chevrolet Camaro Z/28 Coupe, listed at $7,700 and located in Louisville, Kentucky. The third-generation Camaro Z/28 represents a major chapter in Chevrolet performance history. With aggressive styling, a lightweight platform, and strong V8 power, these cars help keep the muscle car spirit alive through the 1990s. This particular example shows 134,000 miles on a chassis and is equipped with an automatic transmission, making it both performance-focused and easy to drive. What really sets this Camaro apart is what's under the hood. The seller states that it has a new 350 crate motor, which is a huge selling point at this price. A fresh crate engine brings improved reliability, strong power, and peace of mind compared to a tired original motor. According to the listing, the car runs and drives good and is currently on the road. Visually, the Z/28 still carries that unmistakable early 1990s muscle look. Long hood, wide stance, and bold badging. It's the kind of car that instantly reminds people an era when Camaros were raw, loud, and built for straight-line fun. The seller is very clear about the terms. The price of $7,700 is being offered for this week only. The title is ready, and there are no holds. That suggests a motivated seller, and a deal aimed at someone ready to move quickly. At this price point, finding a Z/28 with a new crate motor is becoming increasingly rare. Even with 134,000 miles on the body, the refreshed drivetrain changes the value equation completely. This Camaro is positioned as a driver, not a show car. Something you can enjoy right away without waiting on major engine work. For anyone looking to get into a V8 powered American muscle car without spending five figures, this 1991 Camaro Z/28 delivers strong performance value and classic appeal. Number 3. The 1979 Chevrolet Corvette L82, listed at $7,750 and located in Danville, Kentucky. The 1979 Corvette marked one of the highest production years of the C3 generation, but that doesn't mean they lack appeal. These cars still deliver iconic Corvette styling, fiberglass bodywork, and that unmistakable low-slung sports car profile that defined an entire generation. This example shows 104,000 miles and is equipped with an automatic transmission, making it comfortable and easy classic to drive. While this isn't positioned as a low-mileage show car, it is clearly being offered as a solid driver, something you can enjoy without worrying about keeping it locked away. What really stands out in this listing is the seller's confidence. The asking price of $7,750 is described as pretty firm, and the seller openly states they have passed on $7,000 offers 25 to 30 times. That tells you two things. First, there's consistent interest in the car, and second, the seller understands the current market value and isn't in a rush to sell. There are no trades accepted, and the seller is very clear about expectations. Any offer would need to be above $7,000 to even be considered. That kind of transparency saves time and sets realistic expectations for serious buyers. The late 1970s Corvettes are increasingly being recognized for what they are: affordable entry points into true Corvette ownership. They offer classic styling, V8 power, and a fun driving experience without the five-figure price tags of earlier models. At $7,750, this Corvette sits right in that sweet spot. It's priced higher than project cars, but still well below restored examples. It's ideal for someone who wants a genuine Corvette experience, enjoys driving their classics, and isn't afraid of mileage. Number 4. The 1962 Oldsmobile Super 88, listed at $9,995 and located in Danville, Virginia. This is the kind of car that instantly takes you back to a time when American cars were big, comfortable, powerful, and built for the open road. Under the hood sits the legendary Oldsmobile Rocket V8, paired with a Dynaflow automatic transmission, delivering smooth power and effortless cruising. Exactly what Oldsmobile was famous for in this era. The odometer shows 34,583 miles, though like most cars of this age, mileage can't be officially confirmed. Still, judging by the overall condition, the Super 88 has clearly lived an easy life. According to the seller, the car runs and drives great and is road ready. They even say you could drive it home anywhere. What really makes this car stand out is how complete it is. Power steering and power brakes are fully functional. The lights work. The wipers work. The radio works. Even the heat works, something that's often overlooked on cars this old. And yes, it still has the electric trunk release located inside the glove box, a luxury feature that was ahead of its time in the early 1960s. Inside and out, the car is described as being in unbelievable condition. The seller almost refuses to call it a patina car, because aside from minor blemishes in the original paint, the vehicle presents extremely well. This isn't Rusted Survivor or a rough project. It's a preserved classic that wears its age honestly and proudly. The interior remains clean and intact, reflecting Oldsmobile's reputation for comfort and upscale design. The Super 88 sat above the standard models in the lineup, offering more refinement, better materials, and a smoother ride, and it shows. With a clean title, no mechanical excuses, and everything functioning as it should, this Oldsmobile is being offered at a price that's hard to ignore. At under $10,000, you're getting a full-size early 60s V8 cruiser that's ready to enjoy immediately. The seller makes it clear, no trades, and they expect buyers to come see the car in person and bring the money. This isn't a casual listing. It's aimed at serious buyers who appreciate originality, condition, and classic American engineering. If you're looking for a comfortable, reliable, and genuinely impressive classic that stands out from the usual muscle cars, number 4, the 1962 Oldsmobile Super 88, is a car that deserves your attention. And once you see it in person, you'll understand why the seller is confident it will impress. Number 5. The 1972 Pontiac GTO, listed at $19,500 and located in Simpsonville, South Carolina. Now, full transparency right from the start. This car began life as a 1972 Pontiac Lemons and was later converted into a GTO. And for many enthusiasts, that's not a downside, especially when the car is built to be driven, enjoyed, and personalized. This is not a museum piece. This is a real-world muscle car cruiser. Finished in a clean pearl white, this GTO-style build commands attention everywhere it goes. The seller mentions it regularly turns heads at cars and coffee events and gets plenty of looks during casual cruises. Exactly what a classic Pontiac should do. Under the hood is where things get serious. Power comes from a 455 cubic inch Pontiac big block, paired with an Edelbrock intake and carburetor, delivering that unmistakable low-end torque Pontiac is famous for. Backing it up is an automatic transmission equipped with a classic Hurst slap shifter, giving you that old-school muscle car feel every time you roll through the gears. This car was built to be driven and enjoyed, not babied. It's described as a great cruiser, and the seller is only letting it go due to a lack of time and shifting interests, not because of major mechanical failure. That said, the listing is refreshingly honest about what the car needs. There's a live wire somewhere in the electrical system that causes the battery to drain overnight. A fixable issue, but something a new owner should address. There are also a couple of small paint bubbles near the driver's side rear wheel, visible in the photos. Inside the cabin, the oil pressure, temperature, and fuel gauges work properly, but the speedometer and tachometer are not currently connected. Again, not deal breakers, just part of owning a classic muscle car that's been modified over the years. As a bonus, the sale includes a total of spare parts, along with an extra rear end featuring aggressive 4.11 gearing. If the next owner wants to go even deeper into performance territory, mileage is listed at 100,000 miles, but it's noted as unknown since the engine was rebuilt in the early 2000s, around the same time the car was repainted. What matters more here is condition, sound, and driving experience, and this Pontiac delivers on all three. This GTO isn't pretending to be a factory-correct restoration. It's an honest, powerful, attention-grabbing muscle car, perfect for someone who wants to build a resto mod, tinker in a garage, or simply enjoy a big block Pontiac the way it was meant to be enjoyed. At $19,500, number 5 offers serious displacement real presence and classic Pontiac attitude. A car that reminds you why the GTO helped define the muscle car era in the first place. Number 6, the 1978 Chevrolet Caprice Classic Sedan, listed at $5,000 and located in Waynesburg, Ohio. This is the kind of car that represents an era when American sedans were big, comfortable, and built to eat highway miles without breaking a sweat. If you're looking for something flashy and modern, this isn't it. But if you want old school presence, torque, and smooth cruising, this Caprice delivers. According to the seller, this car is a barn find, and they are only the second owner. It was originally purchased new by an older lady, and then sat for most of its life, which explains the surprisingly low 11,000 miles showing on the odometer. While mileage on classics should always be taken with context, the overall condition supports the story. Let's talk about what's been done. The seller states that everything on this vehicle has been touched, meaning it's not just pulled out of storage and flipped. Under the hood, It features a 350 V8 setup with a 4-barrel carburetor and a 350 intake, paired with a downpipe exhaust, giving this big sedan a strong, confident sound and plenty of cruising power. This isn't a trailer queen, this is a driver. The seller confidently states that the car will cruise at 90 miles per hour on the highway without any problem, which says a lot about how solid it feels on the road. Brakes are described as working great, and the interior is said to be nice and well kept, which is a huge plus for a nearly 50-year-old sedan. One standout feature is the vinyl top, which is reportedly in amazing condition, something that's often torn, faded, or neglected on cars of this era. On this Caprice, it adds that classic late 70s luxury vibe. Now, let's be honest about the cons, because transparency matters. The gas gauge does not work, so you'll need to keep track of fuel manually. The lights are wired to a switch, which isn't factory and may need sorting depending on your preference. Also, the front right tire is a different size than the others, those on the same style rim. An easy fix, but worth noting. The seller is open to OBO and is also willing to entertain trades, which makes this an interesting option if you got another vehicle and want to step into a classic without dropping big cash. With a clean title, solid mechanical upgrades, and that unmistakable late 70s Caprice presence, this car offers a lot of classic American metal for money. At just $5,000, number 6 is proof that you don't need muscle car prices to enjoy V8 power, couch-like comfort, and highway-eating confidence. This is the kind of car you hop into, roll down the windows, and let the road stretch out in front of you, exactly how a Caprice classic was meant to be driven. Number 7. The 948 Buick Roadmaster sedan, listed at $10,500 and located in Dahlonega, Georgia. This isn't just a car, it's a rolling piece of history. The Roadmaster sat at the top of Buick's lineup in the late 1940s, a time when American manufacturers were returning to civilian production after World War II. These cars were built with heavy steel, long flowing lines, and a commanding presence that modern vehicles simply can't replicate. Under the hood is Buick's legendary straight 8 engine, paired with a 3-speed manual transmission on the column. This setup wasn't about speed. It was about smoothness and durability. Buick straight 8 engines are famous for their quiet operation and torque-rich delivery, making this Roadmaster a true gentleman's cruiser. And the best part? According to the seller, this car runs and drives well, which is a big deal for a vehicle that's over 75 years old. This isn't a static museum piece. It's something you could actually drive, enjoy, and experience the way it was meant to be. Visually, the car keeps its classic charm intact. It's riding on wide white wall tires with correct hubcaps, a detail that perfectly matches the Roadmaster's elegant post-war styling. The proportions are long, low, and dignified, the kind of car that doesn't need chrome overload to make a statement. The vehicle has lived part of its life in California and North Carolina, which is often good news when it comes to preservation, and it now carries a clean Georgia title, ready for its next caretaker. Cars like this attract a very specific kind of attention. It's not the loud, flashy crowd. It's the people who stop, smile, and say, they just don't make them like this anymore. This is the type of car that turns a gas stop into a conversation and a Sunday drive into an event. At $10,500, this 1948 Buick Roadmaster offers a rare opportunity to own a true post-war American classic with honest mechanicals and timeless style. Whether you're looking to preserve it as is, gently restore it, or simply enjoy it as a driver, this Roadmaster delivers authenticity that can't be faked. Number 7 isn't about horsepower numbers or lap times. It's about heritage, craftsmanship, and the feeling of driving something that has already lived a full life and is ready to live another. Number 8. The 1981 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, offered at $12,500 and located in Neoda, Tennessee. Back in 1981, the Coupe de Ville wasn't just a car, it was a status symbol. This was Cadillac at the height of its luxury era, built for smooth cruising, quiet comfort, and effortless presence on the road. You didn't buy one of these to race, you bought it to arrive. This example shows just 39,000 miles, which is incredibly low for a vehicle over 40 years old. According to the seller, it runs and drives, making it a solid candidate for someone who wants a classic luxury cruiser that can still be enjoyed today. Visually, this Coupe de Ville stands out with Daytona wheels, adding a custom touch that blends classic luxury with subtle street style. Step inside, and you're greeted by a custom blue interior, a color that perfectly matches Cadillac's early 80s aesthetic. Plush, spacious, and unmistakably Cadillac. Luxury options were the name of the game, and this car delivers. It features a sunroof, adding open-air comfort to an already relaxed driving experience. Engine-wise, everything remains stock, which is a big plus for collectors and purists who value originality over heavy modification. The seller is upfront and honest. This isn't a trailer queen. The car needs a few odds and ends, along with a couple of tires, meaning there's room for light sorting and personalization. But the foundation is solid, and the hard work of preservation has already been done. Another important detail: this vehicle comes with a clean title and is being sold by a dealer, offering a more straightforward transaction. For Tennessee residents, the price is $12,500 plus tax. And just to be clear, no payments and no trades. Cars like this appeal to a very specific buyer, someone who appreciates real American luxury, long doors, soft suspension, and the feeling of floating down the road instead of attacking it. This is the kind of car that makes every drive feel slower, calmer, and more enjoyable. At $12,500, this 1981 Cadillac Coupe de Ville offers an authentic slice of early 80s Cadillac luxury with low miles, tasteful customization, and undeniable presence. With just a bit of finishing work, this could be a standout cruiser, a weekend classic, or a head-turning addition to any vintage collection. Number 8 isn't about trends or modern tech. It's about comfort, confidence, and cruising the way Cadillac intended. Number 9. The 1970 Cadillac Sedan de Ville, priced at $17,500 and located in Islip, New York. The year 1970 represents one of the most iconic eras in Cadillac history. This was before downsizing, before fuel economy took priority, a time when Cadillac focused on comfort, craftsmanship, and commanding road presence. And this de Ville captures that era perfectly. What truly sets this car apart is its history. According to the seller, this is a one-owner, garage-kept car, a detail that immediately raises its value and credibility. Vehicles like this are becoming increasingly rare, especially when they've been cared for by the same owner from day one. This sedan de Ville shows just 75,000 original miles, which is very reasonable for a car that's now more than 50 years old. The seller describes it as impeccably clean, and that's exactly what collectors and enthusiasts want to hear when shopping for a full-size luxury classic. The 1970 de Ville was built to glide down the road. With its automatic transmission, massive body, and legendary Cadillac ride quality, this is a car designed for smooth cruising rather than aggressive driving. Whether you're rolling through city streets or floating down the highway, this Cadillac delivers that unmistakable land yacht experience. Visually, the 1970 sedan de Ville is pure presence. Long hood, wide stance, clean body lines, and that unmistakable Cadillac elegance that never goes out of style. This is the kind of car that turns heads not because it's loud or flashy, but because it commands respect. Being a garage-kept vehicle also suggests preserved paint, cleaner trim, and a better-kept interior compared to most examples on the market. Cars that live indoors simply age better, and that's especially important for a luxury sedan of this size and era. At $17,500, this Cadillac isn't trying to be cheap, and that's a good thing. One-owner classics with documented originality and clean condition are no longer bargain bin cars. This price reflects rarity, condition, and provenance, not just metal and chrome. This de Ville is ideal for a collector who values originality, or for someone who wants a true classic they can drive, show, and enjoy without worrying about extensive restoration. It's also perfect for weekend cruising, classic car events, or simply owning a piece of American automotive history. Number 9 reminds us of a time when luxury meant space, silence, and smoothness, not screens and software. If you've ever wanted to experience Cadillac the way it was meant to be, big, elegant, and effortless, this 1970 Cadillac Sedan DeVille is exactly that. At $17,500, with one owner history and 75,000 original miles, this is more than just a car. It's a statement. Number 10. The 1974 Chevrolet Caprice Classic two-door, priced at $22,000 and located in Emporia, Kansas. The mid-1970s Caprice represents a time when Chevrolet was building cars that were big, comfortable, and unapologetically bold. This was before downsizing took over, and the Caprice Classic stood at the top of Chevrolet's full-size lineup, offering luxury, smooth performance, and serious road presence. This particular example really stands out thanks to its 62,000 original miles, which is extremely low for a car that's now over 50 years old. According to the seller, the car runs and drives perfectly and is freeway ready, meaning you could confidently drive this Caprice long distances without hesitation. Powering this classic is a 350 cubic inch V8, paired with an automatic transmission. This is one of Chevy's most proven and reliable engine combinations, known for smooth power delivery and easy maintenance. It's not built to race, it's built to cruise, and that's exactly what Caprice does best. One of the biggest highlights here is the interior condition. The seller describes it as immaculate, which is a major plus. Finding a 1970s full-size coupe with a clean, well-preserved interior is becoming increasingly rare, especially without heavy modifications or restorations. Visually, this Caprice Classic delivers that unmistakable two-door land yacht look. The original wheels have been powder-coated, giving them a fresh, clean appearance, and the car sits on brand-new tires, making it both road-ready and show-worthy. This car also comes nicely optioned for its era. You get a tilt steering column, front and rear bumper guards, dual remote mirrors, and classic fender skirts. Details that instantly elevate the car's luxury presence and period-correct style. The fact that this Caprice has a clean title in the seller's name adds peace of mind, and it's being sold with no trades, which usually means the seller is confident in what they have and its value. At $22,000, this is an impulse buy, but it isn't overpriced either. Clean, low mileage, two-door Caprice Classics are getting harder to find, especially ones that haven't been heavily modified or neglected. This price reflects condition, originality, and desirability. This car is perfect for a collector who appreciates classic American luxury, or for someone who wants a standout cruiser for car shows, weekend drives, or relaxed highway cruising. It's the kind of car that doesn't need to shout. It simply commands attention wherever it goes. Number 10 reminds us of a time when cars were built big, smooth, and comfortable, when driving felt effortless and style mattered. If you're looking for a true 1970s Chevrolet icon, this 1974 Caprice Classic two-door is exactly that. Number 11. The 1964 Ford Galaxie 500, priced at $15,900 and located in Waukesha. What makes this Galaxie special is that it's built as a Holman Moody tribute car. For those who know Ford history, the Holman Moody name carries real weight. They were deeply involved in Ford's NASCAR and performance programs during the 1960s, and their cars were known for speed, durability, and race-bred engineering. Under the hood, this Galaxie is powered by a 390 cubic inch V8, paired with 3.55 rear gears and AC5 automatic transmission. That combination delivers strong low-end torque and confident cruising power, perfect for a big full-size Ford that was built to run hard and comfortably. The odometer shows 100,000 miles, which is very reasonable for a car this age, especially considering its condition. According to the seller, the body is in excellent shape, and most importantly, this is a rust-free car. That's a major selling point for any 1960s vehicle. This Galaxie originally came from South Carolina, which helps explain its solid body and clean structure. Southern cars are highly desirable because they're far less likely to suffer from the rust issues that plague northern classics. Despite its performance-inspired setup, this Galaxie is still fully street drivable. The seller confirms that it can be driven on regular roads, with working lights and brake lights, making it a usable classic rather than a garage-only showpiece. Visually, the 1964 Galaxie 500 delivers that unmistakable early 60s Ford presence, long, wide, and muscular without being overstyled. This was Ford's answer to both luxury and performance in a single package, and it remains one of the most recognizable full-size cars of its era. At $15,900, this car sits in a very interesting sweet spot. You're getting a big block powered classic with performance heritage influence, solid body condition, and road-ready usability, without paying high-end collector pricing. This Galaxie will be a great fit for someone who appreciates period-correct muscle, vintage NASCAR inspiration, or simply wants a classic Ford that stands out from the crowd. It's equally at home at car shows, cruise nights, or long highway drives where that 390 V8 can stretch its legs. Number 11 is a reminder of a time when full-size cars ruled both the streets and the racetrack. If you want a classic that blends history, performance, and everyday drivability, this 1964 Ford Galaxie 500 Holman Moody Tribute is absolutely worth a closer look. Number 12. The 1958 Pontiac Laurentian four-door sports sedan, listed at $18,000 and located in Stonewall. The year 1958 was an unforgettable moment in automotive history. This was the height of chrome, tail fins, bold styling, and big American confidence. Pontiac, in particular, was blending performance, luxury, and aggressive design, and the Laurentian was one of the brand's standout offerings. What makes this car especially appealing is that it's described as an all-original Survivor, not a heavily restored or modified example. Survivor cars carry a special kind of value because they preserve the look, feel, and character of the era exactly as it was. The odometer shows 84,500 miles, which aligns well with its Survivor status. According to the seller, this Pontiac recently went through a 2-month professional inspection, and significant mechanical work was completed to ensure reliability while keeping originality intact. The entire brake system has been replaced, including the master cylinder, wheel cylinders, drums, shoes, hardware, and flex lines. That's exactly the kind of work you want to see done on a late 1950s classic. Safety upgrades that allow the car to be driven and enjoyed with confidence. The engine also received a major tune-up, including new plugs and wires. For added reliability, the distributor was upgraded to a brand new GMHI unit, a smart and reversible improvement for dependable starts and smoother operation. Importantly for collectors, all original parts were retained, preserving the car's historical integrity. The carburetor was replaced due to wear, again prioritizing drivability, and the seller installed an authentic GM reproduction carpet, replacing the original that had become stained and worn over time. This keeps the interior looking period correct while improving overall presentation. On the road, the seller states the car drives exactly as it should, which is critical for a vehicle of this age. This isn't a trailer-only showpiece. It's a classic that can be driven, cruised, and enjoyed. Adding even more value, the sale includes a brand new premium car cover, still in the box, showing the level of care and respect this car has received. Visually, the 1958 Pontiac Laurentian is unmistakable. From its bold front fascia to its dramatic body lines, this car represents an era when American manufacturers weren't afraid to stand out. A four-door sports sedan also offers comfort, space, and usability that two-door cars sometimes lack. At $18,000, this Laurentian sits in a strong position in today's classic car market. You're getting a mechanically refreshed, all-original Survivor with documented care, a combination that's becoming increasingly difficult to find. This car is ideal for a collector who values authenticity, a classic enthusiast who wants something different from the usual Chevys and Fords, or anyone who appreciates the artistry of late 1950s automotive design. Number 12 reminds us that classics don't need to be perfect. They need to be honest, preserved, and enjoyed. And this 1958 Pontiac Laurentian checks all those boxes. Number 13. The 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, priced at $11,000 and located in Chicago. The Cutlass Supreme is one of the most recognizable G-body platforms ever built. Throughout the 1980s, these cars became icons of American street culture, blending clean lines, rear-wheel drive, and V8 power in a package that's both stylish and easy to live with. This particular example comes with one of the most desirable options available: factory T-tops. T-tops instantly elevate the driving experience, giving you open-air cruising while keeping the solid coupe profile that made the Cutlass so popular. Under the hood, this car is equipped with a V8 setup listed as a 350 with a 307 engine and paired with an automatic transmission. According to the seller, both the engine and transmission are strong, and the car starts and drives as it should, a huge plus for anyone looking for a turnkey cruiser rather than a long-term project. The odometer shows 130,000 miles, which is very typical for a well-used 1980s G body. The key point here is condition and drivability, and the seller makes it clear that this Cutlass is a running, driving car with a clean title in hand. Visually, the Cutlass Supreme has timeless appeal. The squared-off body lines, long hood, and short rear deck give it that unmistakable old-school stance. It's the kind of car that looks just as good pulling into a car meet as it does cruising city streets. In terms of body condition, the seller notes only minor surface rust along the edges of the doors, nothing structural or major. For a Chicago car this age, that's actually quite reasonable and far from a deal breaker. At $11,000, this Cutlass Supreme is priced to sell, especially considering current G-body demand. Values for clean V8 powered Cutlass Supremes, particularly with T-tops, have been steadily climbing as enthusiasts continue to rediscover these cars. This is an excellent choice for someone who wants a classic that's fun, usable, and full of personality. It works as a weekend cruiser, a base for tasteful modifications, or simply a clean survivor you can enjoy as is. Number 13 proves that you don't need a 1960s muscle car to have real presence. Sometimes, all you need is a G-body Cutlass Supreme, a V8 under the hood, and the sun shining through the T-tops. At $11,000, with a clean title and solid drivability, this 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme represents pure old-school American cool. Number 14. The 1971 Ford Galaxie 500, listed for just $1,600 and located in Hartsville, South Carolina. At this price point, you're not just looking at a classic. You're looking at serious potential. The early 1970s Galaxie 500 represents the final chapter of Ford's full-size, body-on-frame sedans before the era of downsizing began. This car shows 51,000 miles, which is extremely low for a vehicle that's more than 50 years old. While mileage on classics is always something to verify, even as a reference point adds to the story and potential value of this Galaxie. The seller states that the car was running last year, but it will likely need some tinkering to be road-ready again. For many enthusiasts, that's not a downside. That's the fun part. This isn't a restored show car. It's a project with a solid foundation. Being located in South Carolina is another major plus. Southern cars are often far less affected by rust, making them ideal starting points for restorations or rest-mods. Even if this Galaxie needs mechanical attention, having a solid body can save thousands in the long run. This Galaxie is equipped with an automatic transmission, making it easy to drive once sorted out. Whether you plan to bring it back to stock, turn it into a cruiser, or build a sleeper, the platform gives you plenty of options. What makes this listing even more interesting is the seller's openness to trades. They're willing to consider items like Ford 8x170 wheels, a car trailer, or an ATV, which suggests flexibility and motivation to move the car. At $1,600, it's hard to find anything classic V8 era and full size that even comes close. Even if you budget additional money for repairs, you're still starting from a price point that's almost unheard of in today's classic car market. This Galaxie 500 is perfect for someone who enjoys wrenching, flipping projects, or building something unique without breaking the bank. It could be a weekend project, a learning platform, or the foundation for a cool custom build. Number 14 reminds us that not every classic has to be perfect or expensive. Sometimes the most exciting cars are the ones with raw potential at $1,600. This 1971 Ford Galaxie 500 might be the ultimate entry-level classic. Number 15. The 1989 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser, priced at $3,950 and located in Chesapeake. The Custom Cruiser represents the final era of traditional American V8 station wagons, before SUVs completely took over. If you're looking for comfort, space, and old-school cruising vibes, this Oldsmobile checks all the right boxes. This wagon shows 120,000 miles, which is very reasonable for a vehicle of this size and era, especially considering the condition and recent maintenance. According to the seller, it runs and drives great, making it a turnkey classic you can actually use. Under the hood is a V8 engine, paired with an automatic transmission, delivering smooth, relaxed power, exactly what a full-size wagon was designed for. This isn't about speed. It's about effortless cruising and reliability. One of the biggest highlights here is the long list of recent upgrades. This custom cruiser comes with new battery, new tires, new fuel pump, new brakes, new shocks, and a new carburetor. That's a huge plus, especially for a buyer who wants to drive now instead of wrench later. Inside, this Oldsmobile is fully loaded in classic GM fashion. You get air conditioning, cruise control, AM/FM/CD audio, and full power everything. Power windows, power locks, power seats, power brakes, and power steering. For a 1989 wagon, this is luxury-level equipment. The interior is described as being in great shape, and the original paint is still present and in good condition, which adds to the car's survivor appeal. Original paint tells a story and often reflects honest ownership over the years. Station wagons like this have been gaining popularity among collectors and enthusiasts who appreciate their uniqueness, practicality, and nostalgic charm. You can haul people, cargo, or even turn it into a road trip machine or weekend cruiser with ease. At $3,950, this custom cruiser offers exceptional value. You're getting a V8 powered, full-size classic with extensive recent maintenance for less than the price of many used economy cars. The seller has the title in hand and is open to offers, which makes this an even more attractive opportunity for someone ready to move quickly. Number 15 proves that classics don't always have to be flashy or expensive to be cool. Sometimes, the best classics are the ones you can actually use every day. If you want a comfortable, reliable, old-school American wagon with character and charm, this 1989 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser might be one of the smartest buys on the list.